Good morning, welcome to Clarity Aquatics and Landscapes. I'm here today to replace this pressurised filter. This filter is running currently on an Oase Aquamax 4000, which is plenty bigger for this size pond and a good match for the filter we've got to put it with. Right, this is the Oase Filtoclear 13000. It's a pressurised filter, so what that means is the water comes in on one side, the hose comes out this side, but the outlet hose can then go higher than the filter itself. So this is ideal for installation on, say, a raised pond or in a waterfall system where you need the outlet to be higher than the filter. They're pretty straightforward to install. You can bury them in the ground up to this sort of level. You just need to leave this securing band clear because you don't want any gunge and grime getting stuck in there when you're servicing it. So the standard Filtoclears come in several different sizes, from 5,000, 13,000, 19,000 and 31,000 litre capacities. There's also two larger versions just being released which are ideal for things like swim ponds or larger, more complicated systems. This is Filtoclear 13,000. So what that means is it'll do a pond up to 13,000 litres. However, that's a pond which has got no fish in it. That's a wildlife pond which is full of lots of plants, but no livestock where you're adding fish food to the pond. When you check out their details on their website, so a 13,000 Filtoclear, as a basic rule of thumb when you're working out fish load and filter sizes, is if this is 13,000, you'd need to half that number, and that'll give you the performance of the filter for a pond which has got an average stocking of fish, so goldfish and smaller fish in there. If it's got koi and things in it, you probably need to divide that number by 3, and that'll give you the maximum capacity of that filter. You always want to be over-gunned with a filter rather than under-gunned. And so I know, so this pond we've got here is about 4,000 litres in capacity, maybe 5,000 litres. So this is the Filtoclear 13,000. So it'll approximately do a goldfish pond up to about 6,500 litres. So that means we've got a little bit of extra capacity because I know our pond is 5,000 litres. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick rundown of this unit. So in the top section here, this is the UV unit. This one's got the 24 watt in it. Then this is the inlet and this is the outlet. So there's a little emblem on the side there to give you a clue of which way to configure it. And then this is the discharge. This is for the waste when you're cleaning the unit. As with all Oase products, it's colour coded, so the blue parts indicate something that moves. So on this one, when you want to flush the filter, you turn the handle to there, you connect your discharge hose, and then you can pump this up and down, which is relatively easy to do. So by pulling this up and down, this is linked to all the sponges inside, and that compresses them and then agitates all the muck, and the back flush system then removes all the muck from the filter. So there's no need to get your hands dirty. You can clean this filter on a regular basis just by using the back flushing system and the handle, and there should be no need to dismantle it to get at the sponges. If however a little bit lax on the servicing and the sponges get really clogged, then you might need to disassemble it and give them a bit of a manual clean, or once a year when I come and do a full service, then I'd completely disassemble it and give it a full going over. The ultraviolet bulb is very simple to get to in this one and really quick to change. I'll just give you a quick demo. So there's a little locking nut here, so you just undo the safety screw, click this blue bit across, and then there is glass quartz sleeve in there on the bulb, you want to be a bit careful. And then we lift it up, that exposes the ultraviolet bulb, and you just take this apart and replace it once a year. And there's lots of grease and stuff on there because it's brand new. You can see the quartz sleeve's intact and looking good in there. Once you've replaced the bulb once a year, you just slide that back in, gently push it down, lock it back in place, and then you can just tighten up the safety screw there. Just means nobody can fiddle with it. And to access the sponges inside, which again, if you service it on a regular basis with the back flush system, you shouldn't really need to access this that often. But I'm just going to open it up today so you can see what's inside. So inside the filter you've got 3 sponges, coarse, medium and fine. So that just allows the filter to work efficiently and the bacteria to work at different speeds within the system. Also there's a rubber seal on here. This one's nicely greased up, so that's absolutely fine for today. And just so you can see what's going on. So when I pull the handle at the top, you can see it compresses all the sponges inside. So what you do is you pump this up and down, and as the water's back flushing through the system, all the muck gets agitated and flushed straight off from the outside. So you can see you can put quite a lot of pressure into that, and that'll squeeze it nicely and keep it nice and clean. However, every now and again I would recommend and dismantle it and give it a good manual service. To reassemble it, make sure that rubber seal O-ring's in correct position, push it firmly down. When it's not in the ground, you can lift it up. So you're going to line up the locking ring. I start at the back, make sure it's all nice and in line, click it round, locking pin goes in place. So this is the third generation of Oase Filtoclears. In every generation they've improved the design, made it easier to use. The flushing system on them is much better on this latest version compared to previous ones. The old. So this is a pressurized filter. So the benefits of this is that you can basically bury it in the ground up to this sort of level. So that means it can be hidden quite easily. You can also get a decorative cap to go over the top of it. It looks like a little rock, so you can hide it completely next to the pond. So it's very easy to install. The back flushing system is really easy to use as well. So basically you just turn the handle, turn the pump on, and then use the handle to back flush all the crap out of the system. So yeah, a really good bit of kit. Also they're ideal for waterfall systems and maybe raised ponds. The only real downside with a pressurised filter is the size and the volume of sponges in there. They can only build these units so big. So if you've got a lot of fish, you feed your fish a lot, or you've got a very large pond, it's more economical to have a large flow-through filter or box filter, or maybe a full-blown koi system. I wouldn't really recommend using a pressurised filter if you've got koi in the pond, because they just produce too much waste, and the filter's always going to struggle to cope with that, and you'll find yourself cleaning the filter very often. Okay, I've lucked out on this one today. So the old pressurised filter I was able just to pull out, and the hole is exactly the same size for the brand new one. So might even finish a little bit sooner today, so that fits lovely in there. Perfect depth. I'd always so installing the Filtoclear, I'd always leave a good 1 to 2 inches above the ground level to where that securing band is. You don't want soil and dirt to get trapped in there, otherwise every time you take the lid off, all the bits of dirt will get stuck in there and make it very difficult to seal it. Right, so I'm going to add the inlet hose from the pump and the outlet hose, which is going to go straight back in the pond. So this system comes with 2 sizes of hose tails, 1.5" or 2 inch. This scale of pond, 1.5" is more than ample for it. Quick tip for getting your hose on the filter. So when you're buying pond hose, always try and go for this higher grade koi flex rather than the ribbed stuff. The reason for that being, over time all hoses will degrade in the sun and get very brittle. This stuff tends to break and snap, and it's always at the most awkward moment. This koi flex is a lot stronger, lasts for a lot longer as well. So something like this hose will probably last 10-15 years without having any issues. This flex, every time you pull the pump in and out of the pond, to get strain on it, and over time you'll get splits and it'll wear. So always go for a slightly better quality hose, especially if you're spending money on a good quality filter. Don't skimp on the cheap hose. Also, when you come to fit the hose to the unit, this stuff's a lot easier because it's smooth on the inside. It seals on the hose tails very easily, whereas that stuff doesn't stretch very much, and when you're putting pressure on it, it just doesn't work very well. I just don't like that stuff at all. So yeah, general, I think they call it smooth bore or koi flex is the way forward. Quick tip when you're getting it, pushing it on. So this one will probably push onto that hose connector quite well, because this is Oase hose and it's an Oase product. So it all matches up nice and easily. But what you can do is just get a cup of boiling hot water, dip the end of the hose into it, that'll soften up just maybe the first inch, and then you can push it on. What I have done is, not everyone's going to have one of these, but this is a small heat gun, but hot water works just as well. But just heat up the end of it, don't get too close because it's going to be pretty hot, and this just softens it. And then this is the outer hose, so it just pushes nicely on. Sometimes you need to get a bit of a wiggle, get it all the way on, and as it cools down it'll grip the hose tail and they'll form a pretty good seal on its own, but obviously we need to use a good stainless steel hose clip just to secure it in place. Right, next is the pump, so I'll just cut that hose to length. So it doesn't have to be too accurate, but I'm just going to eyeball it. So roughly about that much is perfect. Okay, that's smoking a bit, so it's definitely hot enough. So it's nice and soft when it's hot, and that'll cool down, and that'll be ideal fit. Pump's in a bit of a mess, so I'm going to give that a clean, and then I'm going to fit the hose to it. So this is the Oase Aquatics Eco Premium 4000. Cracking little pump, really easy to maintain. Simply just unclip the blue bits, open it up, and then you can service the pump from there. You can check out lots of other videos where I give you a full in-depth rundown on how to service pumps. We're not doing that today, we're just doing the install. So this pump is 4,000 litres per hour. The pond is about 4,000 to 5,000 litres. So generally, as a rule of thumb, on a standard goldfish pond, if you turn over the volume of the pond every hour, that's more than enough. Even turn over the half the volume of the pond every hour will be sufficient. But if you turn over the volume of the pond every hour, linked to a pressurised filter, that should be pretty much spot on. So these filters can be supplied as sets, so they come with a filter and the matching corresponding pump. The customer already had this one, but it's ideally suited this size filter. So hose is already connected to the hose tail. Just going to put the rubber seal back in there, and that screws straight onto the front, on the outlet of the pump. Okay, so now we've got the all the hoses in place. Just need to tighten up the Jubilee clips. So there's one on the inlet, one on the outlet, and one on the pump end. So just a large standard flathead screwdriver. I'm just getting nice and tight. So if you're like me, not very patient, you can use a socket set. Simple, this one's I think it's a 7mm on these Jubilee clips. They vary depending on which clip it is. That fits nice and securely over the hex size, and then you can just tighten it up nice and easy. And also I find it's a lot easier in awkward positions to use this. You could even fit it to an impact driver, but you'd have to be very careful not to damage the Jubilee clip or the filter fitting. Right, just going to give you a close up. So just going to give you a close up so you can see you've got the outlet and the inlet, and that's the discharge for the waste. Okay, so time to put the pump in. This pond's only a couple of foot deep, so I can reach the bottom. As far as pump placement with a submersible pump, obviously this has got a top and a bottom to it. Always have the open strain cage on the top, and also you want the pump in a slightly different location to the filter. So this pump's going to be sucking water from this end of the pond and returning it over there. So that will create a nice current going across the pond and help keep the whole system clean. If you just put the pump right next to the return to the filter, just that little area will just keep circulating, and you'll get a dead spot over here. So you want a gentle current going across the pond. We're not looking for a jacuzzi, we just want a gentle current which will help to keep the whole pond efficiently clean. And also, don't use the cable to pick up your pump. There's a handle on here. If you can't use that, use the pond hose itself. So I'll just slide that in, let it drop to near the bottom of the pond. Right, one more thing to do with the filter before we turn it on. Because we're replacing an existing filter and it's already May, so we're well into the pond season, the old filter will have lots of bacteria in it, which helps keep the pond clean and healthy. This is a brand new filter with new sponges in it, so there's no bacteria on the sponges. So what I'm going to use is a bacterial filter start. So this one's Evolution Aqua Pure Pond Bomb. So it's a big light round jelly ball, but also within the packaging there's this liquid bacteria gel. So I'm going to pour that all over the sponges inside the filter, and then I'm going to put the ball inside the filter as well. So that helps to seed the filter, and that will help to speed up the whole process of getting the bacteria into there, so it'll break down the fish's waste. So the whole system will speed up and clear a lot quicker, and we'll have less chance of having any ammonia and nitrite spikes. So I need to open it up, which the easiest way is just to remove the hose tails. So what I'll do is pour that bacterial gel all over the sponges. And that big old bowl is going to drop in the bottom of the filter. And that'll stay in there and slowly dissolve into the water and help seed the filter. So we'll put that back on, make sure there's nothing in the way of the seal. So the last thing to do is wire this in. So I'm just going to put a plug on here because they've got a 13 amp outdoor socket over there. So, okay, so I've turned the pump on. I can hear it filling up. The water's coming in here. On these Oase filters there's clear hose tails on there, so it's a real quick way to see what the water's doing. There we go, and now there's the water returning there. So what I've done is I've left the hose above the water level. That's going to create a lot more oxygen in the pond and just help that water quality. So that's looking a lot better already. The flow rate's much higher than the old filter because it's a more efficient filter. It will slow down slightly once the sponges start to get a little bit bedded in, a bit clogged up, but that's really good. So just as a rule, you can see that's coming from a 4,000 litre per hour pump out of a 1.5 inch hose. Always use the largest sized hose you can fit on your pumps and filters to make a very efficient system. If you use smaller diameter hoses, the pump has to work harder to push the water through the system and through the hoses, so you'll get less output, the pump's working harder, you'll reduce the life of the pump, and you'll get less output at the other end, so the pond's not going to be as clean as it could be. Okay, so I've saved one length of hose, so this is going to be the discharge hose for the waste. So this is the waste output. So this is going to connect onto here, and then I'm going to run it over here onto the flower border just behind the camera there. So just fit another hose tail to it. This will just quick demo on how to service the sponges on the new series of Filtoclear filters. This one is the Filtoclear 13,000. It's exactly the same for the whole range. Nice and simply, turn off the pump first, unscrew the discharge cap, put that aside, don't lose the rubber seal. This discharge hose goes over to the flower bed just behind you. So now we can turn the waste control valve to the left, so then that sends the water down to the waste onto the flower bed. So now the water's coming from the pump through the filter, flushing all the crap that's going onto the flower bed. So now what we need to do is agitate all the muck off the sponges. So what we do is use this blue handle, and I give it 10 pumps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so once you've given it 10 repetitions on the pump, let it flush for about a minute, and then check the discharge. If it's still cloudy, then you might need to repeat that. Do another 10 pumps, let it flush for a minute, and check it again. Normally that's sufficient. If it's really well clogged, you might need to repeat that process 3 or 4 times. But for today, it's pretty clean, we should be good. So once you've done that, turn the pump back off, turn the handle back onto here, turn the pump back on. Now the water's coming in here, going through the filtration and back in the pond just there. So we can take off the discharge hose now. And put the cap back on. Okay, so that's the quick service on the Filtoclear 13,000. Really like this filter, really easy to clean, don't even have to get your hands dirty. So if you neglect the filter and you don't service it very often, then the sponges get very clogged and you'll then have to disassemble it and clean the sponges manually. So always do little and often. If it's a very heavily stocked pond, maybe flush it every week, but generally on the average pond, every 2-3 weeks, doing that flushing system through the summer is plenty. The other parts to service on this unit would be the ultraviolet bulb. So generally, as a rule of thumb, change it every springtime. The 13,000 model has got a 24 watt bulb in it. It'll take the Oase bulbs, also the Philips ones are also very good. I'm Mark, thanks for watching, always like and subscribe, helps me a lot, thank you.